Well, let's get to exterior photos. Mastery of exterior composition. Change the perspective for exterior shots. If you shoot the home from the traditional front-on shot, it's generic. Be creative and make the pictures memorable. A slight change in angle improves the overall presentation of the house. Less driveway, more doors are showing, and a few tree branches in the upper left-hand corner add some depth to the photo. Here's a few hints to remember. Try to show the roof line. Move your viewpoint back or up if needed. Minimize the less attractive aspects of the house, the garage, any permanent signage, fences, and so forth, whatever that means. And don't just shoot the facade. Try to include a little of the side to show some perspective. It's okay to shoot the front square on, but be sure to have the camera completely parallel to the house and ground, or it'll show. Keep in mind, the shots that have some angle are more interesting and show more depth. Wet down the brick patio and concrete pool surround to avoid it being too bright in the photo. Wetting it down also brings out the rich color in the brick. Don't be afraid of the shade. Gardens look richer when they aren't shot in the blazing sun. Prospective buyers will want to see what's been done with the landscaping, and those with children will feel better knowing there's a place for the kids to play. House pictures should be as well-rounded as possible. This again brings us to what we are doing for not only the seller, but for the buyer as well. We are telling a story in photo format. The front shot of the home should appeal to the ego and pride of the buyer, so make sure the lawn is manicured and all weeds are pulled. The backyard tells the buyer how their kids will be playing during those summer playtimes. No kids? You still have to tell the story. That story is that of relaxing in the backyard, possibly sipping tea and cooling down. Whatever the features of the home, it's your job to showcase the benefits and possibilities. Well-done photos will mesh dreams into reality. Remember, perceptions are your buyer's reality. Shooting exteriors at twilight will give your home a prestigious feel. While more effort is involved than daylight photos, the results are rewarding and worthwhile. About 10 minutes after the sun sets, the sky turns a deep blue. Shooting at this time with all the interior lights on will create an inviting atmosphere in your images. We'll go into more about taking these type of shots later. To add some extra light to your facade, a common builder's light on a stand can be used. Use the light sparingly to highlight garden beds and lawn, being careful not to overuse it. Camera flash is less than ideal for exteriors as the scale of most buildings will be too large to light it this way. Set your camera to its widest setting and get back far enough so that you can include the whole house in the frame. Try to avoid having the garage in the foreground, and if possible, shoot from the opposite side to minimize its size. Also, keep an eye out for any unwanted reflections in the windows of the building. It's important to keep your camera both level, vertically, and horizontally. If the camera isn't straight, the home will appear distorted. A ladder is always a good idea to gain a higher viewpoint, particularly when attempting to include the roofline of a two-story home. If you do have to tilt the camera to include the whole building, ensure the camera is still kept level horizontally. A dedicated spirit level available from camera shops can be used for this purpose. Try and use a tripod when photographing both interiors and exteriors. Not only will this provide the sharpest results, it will also make it easier to ensure your camera is kept straight and level. Due to long exposure times in low light, a tripod is always required with twilight shoots. As with interiors, photographing exteriors requires a basic level of styling. Ensure all blinds and curtains are open and even. Turn on interior lighting. Include lamps and watch out for potential eyesores such as rubbish bins, hoses, and doormats. To brighten things up, you can always add some potted plants. Finally, don't forget to close garage doors and move any cars that might be in the frame. Most digital cameras come with basic image manipulation software. Once you've downloaded your images onto the computer, you should be able to use this software to easily enhance them. Common adjustments include lightening and darkening, adjusting color saturation, cropping and resizing for web or email format, as well as correcting color balance. While this is a solution to repairing images, it's always important to start with the best composed and exposed image possible. Change the perspective for exterior shots. If you shoot the home from the traditional front-on shot, it's generic. Be creative. And time of day is the single most important factor when considering photographing the exterior of your new home.